What's going on, people? Welcome to the full view. What's going on? We're here with the WeTalkAjax guys. Welcome.
Nah. Listen, wait. We're not gonna start like that. We're not doing that. I saw in the comments here, and there was someone that was disappointed in me. There's some guy that's like, "Oh, come on, KG, man. No, bro, I'm on time." This is what I'm saying. No.
You're an absolute disgrace. You're cheap.
It's a piss take. That's what it is. Yeah, it's wrong. And me and you, Flex, we had a conversation today about this. Yeah. And you're gonna allow us to continue. It's fine. It's not fine. It's a disgrace.
KG, what is a disgrace? Is that we've got guests. We've got guests here, yeah, and you're behaving like this.
Listen, they know about being on time. Ten Hag, yeah. Again, players exactly Rashford and they've got their own issues. Our guests are here, yeah, and they look like us last season, bro. How are you guys? Did you win today?
Don't remind us, man. Don't remind us. You're evil.
Nah, you know what, guys?
Evil.
I'm sorry, guys. Can I just apologize? Yeah, big up to Sabi, big up to Papi Mento. Listen, honestly, I can't big up Ajax. KG, yeah. Can I just apologize for him, because this is a guy that as soon as he's got a little bit of happiness, he's trying to shit on you guys. That you're our friends, yeah. That's not.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, you know. He's a bit delusional sometimes. I heard him say you're gonna win the league, and you're gonna win the League Cup.
I didn't say we're gonna win the league. I said we're in the title race. That's all I said.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's get the show started. Big up to everyone joining the United View. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We've got a lot to talk about with the guys from WeTalkAjax. Just to let you guys know, we are aware of a little bit of murmurs on the internet right now about this Harry Maguire situation. We will keep up to date with that as we're live, and if something changes, we'll discuss it. But as of now, I'm not hearing anything. So
I'll keep an eye out. I will keep an eye on social media as this is going along. If we get anything from Ornstein, from Romano, or something a bit like that at the moment, it's just rumblings, but that's all it is at the moment. So we'll keep an eye out. Put it that
way. We definitely will be keeping an
Unless
eye out.
Ajax want him, guys. Do you want Harry Maguire?
Yeah.
No,
Maguire.
No, Maguire. I'm going to start with super chats actually, because there were super chats before we even started the show. That's how highly anticipated this show actually is, and I know everyone's going to have a lot of questions for you guys. You guys will be really busy tonight. Actually, for optics, this is annoying me. Hold on. There you go. Let's get KG up here so you three are all together. There you go. Okay, VK says, big up to the lads from Ajax. I am sure it will be an insightful review. Catching some sleep before the flight in 6 hours, and we'll watch at the airport instead. Oh, wow. Okay. VK on his travels. Big up to you. Big up to Garsha, the latest member of the United View Members Club. So big up another one. We've got another super chat here as well. Best collab on the internet. Big up WeTalkAjax, says Nick as well. Again, like I said, you guys are family here. People are really enjoying this as well.
Thanks.
And Raul says, where is the Indian guy from WeTalkAjax? Are we missing someone?
Maybe Juan.
Juan?
Juan, yeah, mate. He does now.
Okay.
No idea.
That was a weird one. I don't know. That was a weird one.
I was like, I don't know if this is a joke.
I don't want to touch it.
I'm gonna leave this one. So
there you go. Maybe in the content, maybe I don't know. Someone was there, they're not there anymore. We don't know about. But anyway, let's get into it.
When Papi Mento came back from vacation, he was a lot of 10, you know, on his face. So maybe
might be possible, yeah.
Fair enough. Maybe it can. Okay, Papi Mento, Sabi, and Ajax. I'll kick it off with the first question, and then I'm sure KG and Owen are going to chime in. And you guys in the community, any questions you guys have and anything you want us to discuss, let us know. Antony talk. I just want to talk about Antony. A lot of Man United fans have been. He's been a topic of discussion. KG's been on Antony watch. He can't deny it.
I've been on light Antony watch. I was nervous about the trip to playing for Brazil. I thought it just was too soon. That was all I was nervous about. But then I believe in him. I told you he's the answer to the right hand side.
In him. He said he's the answer to the right hand side. But KG hit a little period. Was like, oh, I'm watching him. I'm not going to profess to, not being a little bit kind of skeptical at the minute. I'm looking at him and we support him. And it's like in the stadium, there's like some oohs and some ahs when he's getting into great positions. He's just making the wrong decision. Sometimes he doesn't go at his man. He kind of stops, slows the play down.
Flex, you're not feeling Flex. You're not feeling him though. You keep saying, can he beat a man? When you see him on a ball, he always asks the same question: can he beat a man? Is this what Ten Hag really wants?
But are you not feeling him because of the price tag, or are you not feeling him?
No, nothing to do with the price tag for me. And KG's trying to put words. KG's trying to put words out there to do that whole. You're not really. KG's on Antony watch. That is.
No, I've been nervous.
big.
I've been nervous about. I told you what I'm nervous about. Because I'm all in. Like how you see how you back Varane, the Wraith, the Phantom. I believe that's what Antony's going to be for us. I'm all in.
Wow, that's a big statement. Okay, basically, let's hear from you guys. Basically, there's a few oohs and ahs about Antony. What's your opinion? I'm not saying you've watched every game, but is this something that he does? Is this something that he's just warming up? And where are we at with him?
Difficult. I mean, Antony, if you look at his talent, it's excellent. I mean, he has such he can play such great football, but there's also a difference in level. I mean, he played in the Eredivisie. Now he's playing in the Premier League. When he started from Brazil coming to the Netherlands, it was easy to cope because of the level isn't that big, and he was able to do his thing. In the Premier League, the level is high, but if you look at the price tag, people are judging him too fast because of the price tag. You're talking about 100 million euros. Fans are expecting fireworks at exactly the same directly, and I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible for him to judge him on how many games did he play? 15, 20?
Something
about that, I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
less than 15.
I mean, I remember
still a young player though.
That's too soon.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking about this earlier in one of the previous streams that we did. I think unanimously, all of you said you're getting him for 100 million euros. He's not worth that, by the way. Like all of you sort of tempered that expectation, saying he's not worth that amount, so don't judge him based on that amount. But I think you're right.
Exactly.
I think that's part of the problem.
And that's part of the problem.
And it's also
go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's also about what you expect from Antony, right? So what I like about Antony, for instance, and maybe he doesn't score or create a lot of assists, but when you're pressed, he helps you a lot getting out of that press, and that opens up other things for different players in the team. So that's what I was judging him a lot on at Ajax. And also the pace at the Premier League is also a different beast. We have to consider that. Like in the Eredivisie, the level exactly. The level in the Eredivisie slows down a bit. In the Premier League, it doesn't. And the power and the drive of opposing teams are there. So he has to also develop. He has to be more efficient in front of goal. But those are things I think he could develop. Before I just one thing that he really needs to develop is he needs to stop cutting inside all of the time, because that's becoming his signature move, and that can become quite easy for the opponents to defend. He needs to be more versatile, going inside, outside, and he has the capacity. I mean, he's a dribbler. He played in South America in the favelas. He knows how to play ball. He just needs to show it, and it just needs a bit of time. Go ahead, Ajax.
Yeah, you know what it is, to round it off, Flex. The thing is, he's 22 years old. So even when he came at Ajax, his first 6 months weren't as great as the year after. So he needs to cope with the competition, with the team. And don't forget, you guys are in a rebuild stage, are performing very well at the moment. Maybe better than expected. Yeah. And the team needs to gel together also, So it's not only Antony who has to deliver more maybe, and you expect more from him, but it's also the cohesion between the other players and him and the team itself that needs to improve and needs to click together. So it's easy to single out, like one player, but look at, for example, Jadon Sancho. I think he's 23. He was also a good signing, and he was playing at a different...
He's not even here, mate. He's gone.
Yeah. He's playing at a different level already at Borussia Dortmund before coming to Manchester United, and even him, it's not all peaches yet. So give him just a little bit time, and I think it will improve. But it is a beast itself already coping with the Premier League if you're not used to it. So
and I think he would
a bit calm about.
He would benefit as well a lot from like having a target man, for instance.
Yeah,
like the whole system in which in which you guys play now is more of a counter-attack oriented team. But I think you guys are still in the transition to go where Ten Hag really wants to go, and that's the controlling the game on the opponent's half and you know, getting those crosses in to a target man there. So
I've got one by the name of Weghorst. I don't know if I'm saying
was that pronunciation? Was that pronunciation right? Was it pronunciation?
Try it.
Is it sound like a V? Is it Wout Weghorst or Weghorst?
It's the strong again. Wout Weghorst.
Oh man.
There you have it again.
Wout Weghorst.
But
was that
you guys really want him after what happened at the World Cup? Yeah? Are you sure?
Yeah. You remember him?
Gagey with that Wi-Fi, man.
Is my Wi-Fi doing the madness?
You're an absolute disgrace. You're a cheat.
I'll come back.
No, you're all right now. You're all right now. Just
my bad. Because it keeps getting in and out. I didn't know if it was everyone else. Is it me?
Yeah, you're moving a bit Androidish. But it's gone now. You're back. Well, I don't know.
I'm gonna sort it out. I'm not hardwired. Let me sort it out.
He was not prepared.
Why are you not hardwired? You see what I mean about this guy? Why is he not hardwired? See, and this is one thing about him, right? Oh, I'm not late. I'm not late. I'm on time. You're not even plugged in hardwired with the fastest internet speed you can
get. In terms of the technicals,
and then you start the show and it's choppy. Yeah, this is his fault.
He's not prepared.
This is his fault. We've now had to drop down to 5 people because he's got it wrong. It's his fault. Somebody said, Ajax, and actually all of you, somebody said in the comments ask about Antony going on his right foot, using his other foot and stuff like that. Do we just need to accept that he is heavily left-footed and doesn't really use his right foot? Is that just his playing style, or again, is that something we need to wait and see?
It's something that he needs to improve in, but he is heavily left-footed. So you should get used to it that he likes to cut inside. But he needs to have that combination play and that movement also in the striker position and the other positions in the team, because it creates room for him to move into. But in all fairness, he needs to improve also getting to the back line and also trying that right-footed assist or even a cross, you know. So they know he's not that predictable going inside like Arjen Robben always did, you know. He needs to, he needs to diversify his play a little bit more, and that takes a little bit of time, but he is heavily left-footed.
Yeah. But his work rate and mentality is top-notch. I mean...
Yeah.
That's one thing I definitely agree with. Like I've been saying with Antony, that although I'm going to be honest, he has been frustrating at times in terms of his decision-making. I can see what he wants to do. So sometimes it's like we're on a counter-attack. He just needs to play the ball outside of his boot or make sure that, you know, the pass is correct with the weight of pass, but he just kind of, the execution's been bad. I don't mind that because he's trying to do something. Then it's like he's got the ball at his feet, couple little tricks, couple little step overs, then he kind of loses it and it breaks the move down.
He needs to stop.
True. But what I do like about him, definitely that I can see, and this is why he's definitely still playing. Apart from that, he's Erik ten Hag's guy and he really likes him and he believes in him. Is that he has a certain level of intensity that he won't go below. So when he doesn't have the ball, one, he still wants it, which I like. And when he doesn't have the ball, or the team doesn't have the ball, he's really willing to run back, to help out his right back, to help out Dalot or Wan-Bissaka, whoever it will be, and put in a shift. There was an incident the other day against Everton where I think he actually lost the ball. He runs, or Dalot was out of position. He runs back to get to Coleman. He misses the ball. Then he gets up. Then he tackles him. Then he gets up with the ball, runs off, and then wins a free kick. And everyone was kind of clapping. So he wasn't having the best game, but he's an honest player. He will always keep working. So I do like that about him.
The manager said something. The manager said something earlier, and he spoke about the type of player that he's looking for, right? And there's a reason why when the price was going up, they were getting back to Ten Hag, and Ten Hag was saying, "This is my signing. You have to sign him at all costs." And this, when you see what kind of when he's describing the characteristics of a player that he would be interested in, it's the mentality. And there's one thing you can say about Antony is he's been getting through something. We didn't even know that off the pitch. He's been getting through some personal issues that none of us are aware of, but he's been playing. He's been there. He's been available. He's been defending. And again, this is someone that is literally just come to the league. It's funny because I think he set the standard really high, by scoring against Arsenal so straight away. So the expectation level, he almost did a bit to raise the expectations. Like, you know what, you're going to help us right now.
Even in that game, though, even in that game when he scored that goal, it was almost like the only thing he did in the game. You know what I mean? There was still a way to go at that point. And I think Papa Bennett brings a really good point, and it's something that I've definitely noticed, is that whilst we're still in this sort of transition phase where certain games we're still playing on the counter-attack, nothing wrong with that, but that's what we're still kind of doing at the moment. And that's not exactly in an ideal mind, I think, what Erik ten Hag would want. He would want a more sort of dominating game, more possession-based game. When we are in those sort of transitional moments, when we are playing on the counter-attack, Antony's kind of just, and I don't think it's a negative on him, but he's just not necessarily the player for that, because he does travel with it. And then to your point, it's never, okay, I'm going to try and beat the player and try and get the ball in the box, whatever. It's always, I'm going to cut back inside. I'm going to wait for my fullback to kind of come up with me. I'm going to wait for the midfielder like Eriksen to make a run that I can pass it to. And sometimes that's not the right decision. But at the same time, I'm reluctant to really hammer him for it, because I just don't think he's that kind of player. I think, you know, we purchased a player for maybe the team we're going to be like next year or the year after that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's part of him to develop into that role as time 100%. Goes on. So it is a strange one. I think at the same time, if there is more competition on the right-hand side, I actually think that benefits Antony, because I think there are certainly in some games, you know, you go, actually, no, it's not really the game for him. I'll take him off and I'll bring someone else on. So, but I'm not on the train of like, oh yeah, we expect more, because again, that price was inflated. You can't judge him by that price, in my opinion.
Does he still fake injuries during game, like screwing his opponent?
Well, he didn't. Before the World Cup, there was some questionable injuries heading into that World Cup. He's injured or he's ill with what? I don't know.
But in all fairness, Owen, you need to put things as a Manchester United fan in perspective. Also, you know, travel back like a year ago and look at how the team was performing and how all the Manchester United fans were feeling and the position you were in as a team. And take a look now at where you're standing in the league, the way the manager is performing, the way the team is performing. A lot of things we said in previous talk came true, you know, even players that were almost written off are performing very well. Look at Rashford, for example. Yeah. You know, so take a look at the positives and trust the process, trust the manager, and also trust to give the manager and the player time to gel in and perform and grow within the league and within the team. Because if you focus too much on the negatives and do not enjoy all the positives you're having at the moment, because you guys are doing very well. And we will talk about this furthermore in the talk for sure. There are some stats of the manager that are just ridiculous, you know? And this is something that you have to accept and focus on the positive things. And I'm sure that he will start improving during the season and maybe even next season, because it's a long-term plan still, you know? But you're getting spoiled now by the results already, because where you are in the league, how the team is performing, is just magnificent.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir, absolutely. I mean, we and KG have been saying in the last couple of match views that we've been doing, sometimes at halftime, it's 1-1 or it's 0-0. And sometimes the reaction is, this is terrible. This is rubbish. What are we doing? And there's already evidence, to your point, Ajax, like, we'll make chances and we're probably going to score in the second half. And we've won, however, since we come back from the World Cup, we've won every single game. Like, to your point, I think we're quite far ahead of schedule. And considering the circumstances that Ten Hag has found himself in, I bet he did not expect to have his first season whereby one of, if not the greatest player of all time, debatable, I know, but is an issue for you. And he leaves in January. Well, he leaves in December. His contract's terminated because he does an explosive interview. I bet he didn't really know too much about the club possibly being sold and everything that's going on there. And to navigate all of that and still get results, you know, I think is a massive win for him.
Additionally to this, Owen, go back to the Manchester United Bournemouth game. You guys won it 3-0, right?
Yeah.
Just recently. Did you see the lineup that you played with in that match? You played with Maguire, you played with Lindelof. Donny van de Beek was in the formation that didn't play a lot. And still you guys won comfortably. You know, the struggling season and try to win 3-0 with all your players in the lineup, it was already difficult. Now you just cruise in. Even with Harry Maguire, you didn't even concede. He had that stupid pass towards the corner flag that made me laugh.
I could have believed that. You know? And someone, sorry, just really quickly, because it looks like you watched the game, Ajax. I was actually in the stadium. I swear to you, Can someone assist, because you guys are watching it, Owen and Kate. What happened with that? I just need to know. How did the ball go?
I'll tell you what happened.
What
Tell you what happened. Harry Maguire did the pass, and KG nearly exploded with laughter for about 10 minutes.
Because
what happened?
Insane.
What happened? No, I'm actually being serious.
On a serious note, yeah, like, and this is the thing that, because now you quickly raise Maguire, obviously it's trending all over the internet on Twitter that people are trying to link Maguire with a move to Aston Villa. Villa are now losing to Stevenage. Bring out the peas. Put the money up. I know it can't happen. There's no way in hell this still happens. But have you not seen the picture as well? Did you not see the picture of them in the restaurant?
Just in a light restaurant. Like that's why this is happening. It's not happening.
Oh man, I want it to happen so much. But he's rubbish. Just to answer the question. He's just not good. Again, it's
wait, please, no. What happened with the corner? I need to know who it.
No, he got the ball and
he just passed it. It was just a terrible pass. He suffered from conditioned Brock foot. That's what happened. I swear.
No, guys, wait, guys.
That was it. Like Flex, it's not even that. It's not even that.
No, but did he kick it backwards then?
I think he went out for a throw. I think he went out for a throw.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, so it wasn't a corner then.
But was he going for the teammate or for the goalkeeper?
I don't even know what he saw, but it was.
It was away. It was away. It was Sunday League away. You know what I mean? And literally from there.
Think about your life. You are a failure. You are a failure. You can never make it.
At this club. He can't make it at this club. He's got to go. He's got to go as soon as possible.
Where's that one from?
That's A dot, and that's the A dot.
It's from KG's childhood. That's where it's from. It's a home video recording.
It's his dad. Yes, KG's dad.
Yeah. Wait. Can we ask you guys something? Are you guys surprised at the position now in? Are you surprised in how Ten Hag has handled everything so far? Or you think, you know what, everything seems consistent?
No, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
top 3, man. You guys are top 3. I'm really like, my respect went up actually for Ten Hag since he left Ajax, because he changed it around so fast. And I was looking at stats before I started this show, and last year you had in one season 8 clean sheets, and now you already have 8 clean sheets in this season, and it's not even over. So just the major. Yeah, exactly. Just the major improvements, players that gotten better under him, like talk about Luke Shaw, talk about Rashford. So many
Wan-Bissaka.
But he's not a starter, right? He doesn't play every game.
No.
Wan-Bissaka. So and just the signings he did. I mean, Eriksen, unbelievable. What he does for your midfield brings the creativity. So you're already seeing signs of what he brings.
Casemiro,
how he wants to build. Casemiro, very important.
Licha Martinez.
Oh, we love him.
Wait, God, Papi, wait. Papi Mento, we have to talk about Licha, properly. He needs his own segment. He's been a revelation for us, yeah? When I say revelation, that's probably too dumbed down a word. Owen, you're wicked with what's better than revelation? I don't even know. But
he's been really good.
really good. Really good. Honestly, he's insane.
He's too small to be a central defender.
Oh my god. When he came to Ajax, I know it's a different league, but did you experience some of the similar things of people being a bit unsure, maybe Dutch podcasters or pundits or people in the media in the Eredivisie, whatever? Was anyone unsure about his height? Has that ever been a thing early on in the Eredivisie? I know the Premier League's different, but was that ever a thing?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there was in the beginning, because he started as a midfield player at Ajax. He didn't start as a central defender. So he was
out and out centre mid, just holding the fort, breaking up play, giving it what was he, like a Casemiro?
No. But he got bought to be
as a left
replacement of Nico Tagliafico as a left back. Then he got played as one of the double pivots in front of the defense. Then he got benched again. So he wasn't a first team player.
Wow. And then he came in as a backup left back.
He came in as a replacement for Tagliafico, who was on the verge of going out, of going to another club. So they already anticipated to have his replacement in. That was his natural position that he was bought for the LB. and then he was played as that one of the pivots in front of the defense.
Yeah.
Then he got back to the bench, and eventually he got played next to Timber in the central defense.
So why did that happen? Was that Ten Hag just going, actually the left back thing didn't work out? Actually, centre back, or was it injuries? How did he end up there? What was the
It makes the Shaw move interesting, doesn't it? Luke Shaw recently has been playing as a left back. He's been playing at centre back. There's parallels.
Nah, our manager's elite, man. He's elite.
But we were criticizing him a lot when he benched Martinez. I mean, at first, everybody was pissed. Why? Because he didn't play. He didn't play him at all. Because he played perfectly in midfield, and all of a sudden he got benched. And then you got Daley Blind, who played in center back. You got Nico Tagliafico, who played as left back. So there was no room for him to play.
So he was playing good. He was playing good in centre mid. Then it wasn't like he was playing bad. And then
he was good. He was really good. But all of a sudden, no, he was really good in the build-up, in defense, helping out the defense. So he did good. But all of a sudden, he got benched for, I think, in the second season,
at least a half year.
At least a half year. And then all of a sudden, in January, he started to play, and he had one of his best games as a centre back. And from there on, he never lost his spot.
How did that happen? Was there an injury? Was there an injury at centre back, and they thought we need to try him, or he just did it one day?
I think he was searching for the optimal 11 around January. Still, it was not clicking really well, and then he tried Martinez in the back, and it started clicking. So he has that a lot, Ten Hag, in the seasons that he was at the helm at our club, that he improved, and then we were steamrolling after January.
Yeah. It was a cup game. It was a cup game. It was a cup game where he played, indeed. And then from there on, he did well, and there was no reason for putting him out of the squad.
But the weird thing about this, and we bashed Ten Hag a lot about it, because he played really well in that pivot position in front of the defense, and all of a sudden next season he said, but I do not see him as a midfielder.
Yeah, wow, he actually said that. That's not my plan for this player. I don't see.
Yeah, but he played him as a midfielder. He played well as a midfielder, and all of a sudden he hit like this change.
Ajax. Good is not good enough. That's what it is.
I love that.
It's not good enough. He's good there, but he can be great here. That's what it was. Ten Hag.
But he can be the revelation at central defense. You was thinking that, right?
Oh, 100%. That's the word. He's been 100%.
That is interesting, though, isn't it? That, so he's been moved around those positions, and then he comes in at centre back, and he just goes, "That's it. Don't change him. Don't take him out." And we have kind of seen that already this season. If he finds something that he thinks was working, he's not big on that whole rotate. For all of these cup competitions, recently he's made 4 changes in the last few games. That's a lot for him, and he doesn't really like doing it. I see the parallels between Martinez and Luke Shaw, where Luke Shaw started as that centre back because there was no centre backs available, and there was illness, there was suspension, there was coming back from the World Cup, and then now it's to the point of there have been centre-backs available, but he's just played him anyway. He's played him there anyway because he's thought he's done all right there. And even by all accounts, that was Luke Shaw going up to Ten Hag saying, I can play centre-back. And he went, prove it. And then he did. He went, looks like he played really well there. And now, when we're going to play Barcelona in the first leg of that Europa League tie, Martinez is suspended. And now it becomes a situation of actually, he might play Luke Shaw as that
100%. And I would be cool with that. I would be cool with that straight away. Guys, before we carry on, I'm going to give the floor straight back to you guys because we don't get to speak to you guys that often. So we really want to hear from you guys from a lot. We're not going to do that much talking. Smash a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're basically at 2,000 people watching live, which is absolutely dope. Nice. The positive comments are flying in from the community. Best YouTube content. I love this channel. United View and We Talk Ajax top tier content says Mark Powell. Even our members obviously got the priority chat. Starlord said, elite stream. That's why I'm not commenting much. I'm just taking it all in. I'm just soaking it all in, man. And let me 100%. And let me get to these super chats as well. There's quite a few to read out. Kristen says, don't understand the Antony criticism. If you compare with Sancho's first 6 months, Antony is doing better. And Man United Winner says, hello. No, I'm not having this. Antony is a dud. I'm not having this. Antony is a dud. Oh, wow. Man United Winners also says, why the excuses for an £80 million player? What is this? Not happy. Troy Superstar says, KG, every player has an issue. He is just not for us.
Oh, Troy Superstar hates Antony.
Troy.
Oh, really?
Troy will go back and well. He doesn't like Antony. He doesn't like Ten Hag. But then he'll go. But we'll win in the league. It's very
like
contradictory.
I remember that.
It's
yeah,
very,
so
very contradictory.
Troy, change the last bit from superstar and put troll. Put Troy the troll. That Troy troll. Troy troll. You should be that. And Troy also has another super chat. It says, this is an apologist agenda for Antony. What a waste. So yeah, reaffirming what you guys have just said there. He doesn't like
this
it,
is a perfect example, Flex. You know, like look at the price tag and trying to say, you know, he's just not a good buy.
Wasn't his fault, is it?
Let's turn it around, you know. How much of a bargain buy is Martinez in the end? You have a World Cup winner. Was in the defense, you know. So you could argue like, okay, he's expensive, which we said, Antony, but Martinez is actually a bargain buy for you guys. So
100% agreed. David G says Ericsson. Oh, this sounds like a KG super chat. This David G says Ericsson is our Scholes. He gets the ball at times, looks up and no one runs. They want the ball to feet. Players new to running behind with Scholes. Wow. I mean, I think
Casemiro, where I've gone far, and I didn't get a lot of pushback, to be honest. I went far when I talked about Casemiro and Roy Keane being in terms of haven't had anything that elite in that midfield since Roy Keane. A lot of people tried to throw Carrick into the chat.
Don't do. I
like Carrick. I like Carrick. It's one of my, again, I got Carrick moods, signed Carrick moods.
But like in world football, like he's elite, man, big, like under, like people didn't even put the
5 Champions League.
Big man though.
You can't put him in there. So I wouldn't put Scholes and Ericsson in the same sentence. No disrespect to Ericsson, but I would never do it.
100%. But just on what David G's trying to say, that's a massive compliment to Ericsson. I think he's trying to big him up so much. He's probably gone a bit too far. Big up, David. But we're not here to crush positivity, 100%. But we get what you're trying to say. But obviously, Scholes is like, boom. But that's the super chat. Next level. Troy Troll says, our thesis has United winning the league. Not surprised.
That's what I mean. He says we're winning the league.
Exactly. So it's just, really hypocritical. And PS been a UV member for 5 months. Big up PS. PS says, do you think Martinez can be the next club captain? He's a trusted lieutenant of Erik ten Hag who is enforcing standards in the dressing room as on the pitch. Good question. Guys, could he be our next captain? Or is it just Bruno's?
He's a natural leader. And he rallies the troops. So he makes sure everybody's on board. So he has that, potential, but you never know. You may want somebody from your own academy or somebody with the Manchester United DNA. So maybe time will tell. If he becomes a club legend after a few years, why not?
I see him more as a leader at the back line.
Yeah.
He knows
doesn't matter that it's
defense. He knows how to spice up the defense to make sure that everybody's keeping concentrated. So and he tries to keep them awake, like not losing concentration. So for me, he's definitely the leader at back line. But as a captain, I'm not sure.
I think we missed him. You know what's been crazy is you started to notice since he's not been in the team, the high fives for defending, high fives for
a bit less in it
for tackle. It's gone.
No one,
all of that. They're not celebrating defending. He's one of those guys that loves to defend. And it's so infectious. Again, even that De Gea mistake, I don't think De Gea makes that mistake if he's
he's on his toes because he gets slapped around by Martinez before him. Yeah,
it's so funny, because I think De Gea is a huge introvert, and then Martinez comes up to him and he gives him high fives, and you see he's a little bit uncomfortable when he does
100%, bro. That is
what does he do? What does he do? What's the thing he does?
What?
Flex, what does he do? Because Flex has got the David hair on lock. I don't even think David sounds
like this.
I'll
be honest, no, I can't remember. No, I'll be honest, it was in the moment. I can't recreate. I can't remember what I even said that he did. We basically did a show because there was a thing where I think David De Gea saved it, or he might, or Martinez might have blocked it. They done something together, and Martinez was mad, and he just like almost choked him out, and he pushed him in the net. And David De Gea just like you said, that awkward, like fucking hell, this guy's nuts. But it's amazing. It's amazing.
We need to get into this because I need to ask you guys about this because there's a signing coming in, and everyone has been doing their own scout reports. thinking, is this player is he the tall man to lead the line? Because again, we've been laughed at by our rivals. They're saying we're going for Burnley rejects, Burnley scraps. Weghorst, like, what we saying? Is he someone that we can 6 months? Is it gonna? Will it be a loan that we like? What's your thoughts?
Difficult to say. I mean, he's a player that's well known, also for Ten Hag, also for all people who watch football in the Netherlands. He's a guy who has one of the best mentalities. He works very, very hard. He goes to hell for you in order to achieve what he wants.
I want him now.
Achieve.
That's it. That's
all I want. That's the mentality part. Footballing wise, I mean, I'm not a real big fan of him. He's a player who can be used to force something. So I would definitely not use him as a starter. I don't know whether he will be brought in to compete with Martial. I don't think so. I think Ten Hag has a plan B in place to use him when you're 1-0 down or you're still 0-0 and you need to score a goal, because that's something that what he definitely can do. You saw the Netherlands against Argentina. He came in, he fought like hell, he fought like a lion, and he can score goals, headers, high crosses, corners. He can be dangerous, but to use him as a starter, I don't see it.
I must disagree, though.
As an asset.
Papimento's not having it at all.
No, I'm not. Look, if he's coming in for backup because Martial is injured a lot and stuff like that, and you need a backup, and he comes in, okay. But I think he's, I saw on United View on Twitter what Ten Hag was saying of the perfect profile that is needed for the striker position and the level you need to be at United. And then you come with Weghorst, and then I'm like, yeah. So what are you talking about? Like,
is that
it's not the level you need. Like,
Papiamento, is that context in terms of where we are now? Not much money, emergency 6 months loan, and like we're saying, just a plan B, just to get through to the summer context, though.
In that context, I would say he could be useful, but he's not going to be. There are limitations to him, and he's not, for me, the level of what United should be looking.
He's not a United player. He's definitely not a United player. So it's.
Let's be honest, okay? No, it's not something to get excited for. It's a bit of a hype train after those 2 goals against Argentina, But it's a 6'6" guy, He's almost 2 meters. You do not have any
the tall people. Yes.
Any player with that kind of profile within the team, Usually, if you try to force something, you bring up McTominay and put him up front. So you have to have people within your squad, and he fits that profile. He's cheap. He can do the trick. I'm not saying he should be first 11, but he's somebody that you want at your bench when you're trying to force something in the end. And then he can come in and maybe do the trick, So no, it's not a Manchester United kind of player. He fights hard. He chases down the defense hard. And he can head a ball. So if you want to force something, he can be your pinch hitter, but nothing more than that.
But the technical ability is nowhere near Berbatov or from Paris.
No. To be honest, we're not expecting that. We're not expecting that.
But as a pinch hitter, the technical ability isn't the most important. He needs to have the ball.
No, it's important for a target man also to hold the ball, Ajax.
The ball.
Can I ask you a little question? Just because for the people that have watched the Premier League and seen a few of your games, how close is he to Haller? Is he like a super downgrade on Haller, or is he about the same level?
Yeah, I must not disrespect Haller because he played very well for our club. And I'm glad he's doing well now after the cancer treatment and stuff he had. So he's a great player. But they maybe are a little bit similar. But Weghorst needs to prove it more than Haller still. Because if you look at his stats, it's not all that bad, At Besiktas and I believe at Wolfsburg and at AZ, he has like every 2 matches he scores a goal. So it's not 1-on-1, but it's like...
His record at Wolfsburg was pretty good, I saw that.
the link-up play of Haller was way better than Weghorst. Weghorst was more of a
Way
finisher.
better?
The headers. No, I think the link-up play is
This
better.
is the little in-house fighting here.
Sometimes when we were watching Ajax last season, it was like Swan Lake, you know. He was more on the ground than he was on his feet when getting those long balls.
What's happening here? Sabi saying one thing, Papimento and Ajax are like, no.
We don't always agree, man.
This is why this
was great,
but no.
I didn't say his link-up play is great. I said it was better than
it was from time to time non-existent, bro. Those long balls and he got fumbled over. Long ball again, got fumbled over.
No. You could see some 1-2s. You could see some 1-2s.
I feel like they're gonna start breaking out into Dutch, and we're not gonna know what's going on in a minute soon, bro.
I'm just gonna get involved and say, no.
I feel like the Dutch is gonna start coming out. They're gonna start going at it. You know what I mean? Clearly, a couple of interesting opinions on him. I think where we stood, guys. Well, I can speak for Owen because I've done the show with him. I'm pretty sure KG's on this. Is like as a stopgap. Like we're so, and maybe we are too naive to go all in like this, but we believe in Ten Hag so much that, and a lot of Man United fans have said this, and we're like, if he sees that that's the right thing for us, considering what's attainable, considering having one, maybe two hands tied behind his back in terms of budget, considering the Ronaldo situation happened and he didn't even want to be here, considering we just need a plan B. We've been bringing on Antony Elanga up front recently, you know, considering those things, we're like, if Ten Hag wants him just till May, we can do that. We don't mind.
I've got another question for the panel, but this is from the free seats. They want to know if they had the choice between Weghorst or Depay, what are they doing? Who are they going to bring in for Man United?
But that's apples and oranges, bro.
Yeah, totally different players.
It's apples and oranges. If you need a pinch hitter, you have to get Weghorst. If you need somebody to compete with Martial, you have to get Depay. It's simple as that.
Well, we basically I need to let you guys understand the situation that we find ourselves in. It's winter and we don't have a jacket and we're only going to get one. Someone said you can borrow your jacket. That's the situation. So we can't choose between Apple. We just need a coat. So you need to tell me.
Do we want to negotiate with Barcelona? I don't want to go anywhere near them after the summer, after the Frankie de Jong situation.
Yeah.
I just, and we don't need, and the thing is, the Depay thing, we heard that in the summer though, KG. We did hear that in the summer. Memphis Depay wants to come to United. What did they end up doing? He ended up staying. And by all accounts, that was him. He forced it. He went, oh, no, actually, I've decided I'm going to stay. Who's to say that won't be the case? Weghorst wants to come to United. The thing is, it's the stigma of the club and the player attached, isn't it? It's the fact that Man United find themselves in a triangle with Burnley and Besiktas. That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. And everyone's saying, oh, United standards. But the problem is, it's not. If we get Memphis Depay, his contract's up at the end of the season. I don't even know how that we would get a loan for a player that's expiring at the end of the season. That doesn't make any sense to me. So you'd get Depay maybe for like 18 months or something like that. And maybe Ten Hag doesn't want that in 18 months' time. With Weghorst, it's 6 months. I would, unless something goes really, really right for him at United, I'd be stunned if he stayed later on than the end of the season. Sure. We don't have a player like him. And I know they can say, oh, that's old-fashioned players. It's Fellaini-esque. And maybe it is. But at the same time, if Ten Hag wants to play over target, man, if Ten Hag wants someone 10 minutes left or 20 minutes left, he wants to bring on something
that's what
different,
it'll be.
Change the games, change the strategy, we go a bit more direct, we put balls into the box, then so be it. And again, it's not a long-term commitment. Plus, you know, Depay, his wages are going to be astronomically higher than Wout Weghorst. I think Wout Weghorst's wages is something like 35k a week. Memphis is asking for at least like 100. Of course he is. You know, again, financial commitments, that's part of it too. It might just be it's the cheapest, easiest thing to do right now. And to Flex's point, if Ten Hag wants it, I'm all in. I don't have a problem with it.
Well, I totally agree with you, Owen, but it's easy as this, you know. He brings versatility to the squad, as in he can play another role that you do not have within the team. It's as simple as this. If he saves a point or maybe wins the game for you guys, even though he's a pinch hitter, he will be fully worth it. Whatever you pay for him now for those 6 months, because he isn't that expensive, I think. So just think of it as that, you know. He gives you a plan B. Is he the best in that position? No. But he can do the job. If he can do it for the Dutch squad, getting them back into the team against Argentina, why not for Manchester United? I'm not saying he will be a great success, but he can help you out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read out these super chats before you guys carry on. Josh says this is the best collab in fan content consistently. Eric Ten Hag settings. Can we ask the Ajax lads about when Eric Ten Hag took control of the youth academy? That's a really good question.
It's a good question.
So hold that thought because we're gonna come back to that. Game Fanatic says Weghorst in unless you want Maguire striker again. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that he get. Who was that against? Oh, Sociedad. Because we needed to get two. Acid says thoughts on Maguire to Villa. I know a lot of people have been tuning in talking about the Maguire thing. Our thing is that one person has claimed that on Twitter / social media, and there's not really been anything else. There's a picture
and
of
another hasn't.
And another hasn't. Yeah, I think it's something that's just trying to create up a little bit of a storm, a little bit of a hype train. We'll keep an eye on it, but I'm pretty sure that very credible journalists, big boy journalists, would have been onto this. That wouldn't just come out of the blue from sources that we may not, be sure of. So we'll keep an eye on it. So that's our thoughts right now. Troy Troll says Weghorst HD, the highest press in the Premier League last season. He has the highest press in the Premier League. And Sandeep says, KG, I am getting a Boy Kev printed shirt today. Sandeep, if you get that, I dare you to change your display pic to a picture of you holding that with that, a Boy Kev. Imagine Boy Kev shirts like become a random thing. It's such a personal thing for him. And imagine it just
a sign for the club. We're supposed to do it. I don't know why me and Owen are wasting time.
Okay. Elazar says Weghorst Depay. Their thoughts on stopgap Po. I like what you did there. And Dennis says personality wise, Wout over Depay any day. Like we was talking about what we need for the immediate. Let's go back to that super chat because I think that was really interesting. Nice one, Josh.
Yeah.
That was really good. And in the last 15 minutes, get your questions into these guys. We'll fall back because we don't want it to just be us just putting all the questions to the WeTalkAjax guys. We've got them for 15 minutes more. Get your questions in, some kind of quick fire questions that we can put to each of them. Maybe we'll set a little challenge to say, this is for you, so we can speed it up a little bit and get as many questions for you guys as we can. But let's quickly spend a few minutes talking about that. Josh Wearing says, this is the best club ever. Eric Ten Hag sentence. Can we ask about when Eric Ten Hag took over the youth academy at Ajax? Because he's done it with us now. Papimento, how do you see this, and what was it like when you guys had experiences?
I mean, Ten Hag, when he came, the youth academy is already set up at Ajax. So for him, the way we want to play, the philosophy, it's already set within the Ajax system. And when Ten Hag came, of course, he has control over the youngsters coming up to the Ajax 1 team, but he doesn't have full control over the youth academy. Those are still being run by other people within the team, and John Heitinga was also the coach for the youth team. So, but it's all, it's all interconnected. So Ten Hag and those managers all sit together. They all see if players are ready for the next step to the Ajax 1. But what he has done now at United with the youth, I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, so it's the reserve team. So basically, I think it's a miss sort of thing in the question. Basically, in the last couple of weeks, he did an interview and he said that the reserve team, the under 23s, not necessarily the academy, he now oversees all of that because he felt that it wasn't interconnected enough. So if he says, I've seen this player in the under 23s, I want you to play him in this position, this system, this often, basically to streamline that kind of pipeline. Because he did reference Ajax. He said that's how it was done when I was there at Ajax, and that's what I wanted how it to be done at United, basically.
Yeah. Really well answered. Actually, let's share out these questions because now there's quite a lot. Ajax, we'll give this one to you. Yeah. This is one of our members as well. If Eric Ten Hag comes back to raid Ajax in the summer, who do you think will be next to go? That's kind of a really disrespectful question, but at the same time, I want to know what you think.
That's a difficult question to drop on me at the moment because we're not performing quite well at the moment. So, it could be Timber, but he needs to improve still this season. You miss Martinez a lot in the defense, like the chemistry between those two. So, but he has a lot of potential. You can also see it at the Dutch squad, the Ligt played that first match, then he got substituted out and Timber came back into the squad, and he was playing very well with Van Dijk and Ake. So Timber is a huge talent there. I've heard rumors that you guys maybe are going for Kudus, so he could be an option. Terrific player. Yeah, terrific player.
I like this guy, bro. I like this guy.
So yeah,
shameless.
I think those two maybe the main candidates in the current team that maybe could be poached, but will be difficult. Will not be cheap. Will not be cheap.
Thanks for that, Ajax. Sabi, we'll give this one to you from Wizard. Wizard says, be interesting to hear your thoughts on Van der Gaag and learn a bit more about him. You know, he's Ten Hag's sidekick. He's obviously ever present. And as we know, all the work that's done at a football team isn't just down to one man in the manager. What's your kind of take on Mitchell van der Gaag and him as a coach?
No, from what I know from him, when he was coaching the youth, the second club of the young Ajax team, he did quite well. He made sure the players developed in a positive way. Players became stronger. There was close contacts with the players, also with the coach. So there was, as Owen said, there was a close connection between young Ajax, that's the under 23. And the first team, and the collaboration was great, and he made players play better, and that's why the young players who were promoted to the first team did quite well. Look at Timber when he came up. Look at Range. Those are all talents that came from the academy, also through and also through Van der Gaag, and within Manchester United. I mean, he knows so many languages. He's like the translator of the system, the way, the tactics, the way you want to play, and he is key for that in my opinion.
Yeah, because there were rumors at one point, weren't there, after the Ten Hag thing was announced, that possibly Ajax would want to keep him on and be maybe like the head coach of Ajax last season. I suppose my question would be, would you have rather it was Mitchell van der Gaag as the head coach now, or would you rather have Schreuder?
That's not a question.
Even Oli is maybe better than Schreuder.
See this guy? You see him? You see.
I love it.
What I mean,
I would even take you as a coach at this moment.
Yeah, me too.
Out.
No, wait, I need to answer this question as well.
Go for it. You go for it.
You guys, Erik ten Hag's handling of Sancho, what have you thought about it? And do you think we will see the best of Sancho again? Has he ever had a situation like this while he's at Ajax with any of his players?
Wicked question,
Yeah, I need a little bit more background information, to be honest, because
Sancho,
what happened? We're aware of the Sancho situation. So
so essentially, the Sancho situation is that was started the season well, went into a bad bit of form, and then obviously didn't get selected for England at the World Cup. During the World Cup, it was revealed that he didn't even go with the squad on the mid-season training camp to Spain. Instead, he was actually sent to the Netherlands. He went to an amateur club that I think Ten Hag was familiar with some coaches that Ten Hag was familiar with to improve his fitness and to improve some other side of things. He's since come back to Carrington, and Ten Hag said this week in a press conference essentially that his fitness is improving, but it's also about fitness is not just physical, it's mental as well. So basically, he's taken a player that's really struggling, I think, out of the limelight and trying to build him back up from the ground up, essentially.
Okay, thanks for the extra info. This is something Ten Hag tries to do, try to cover for his players and help them out where needed. Not an exact same example I can think of that happened at Ajax, but it is like him to shelter his players, to cover for them and take them out of the picture if necessary. And if he's not healthy physically and maybe mentally, it is Ten Hag-like to help him out in that way. So maybe Sagbi or Papimento can think of a similar player that it happened with Ajax with under Ten Hag.
I mean, look, with Martinez, when he went 6 months out and he came back, he was a much better player than what we saw on the midfield. Also, with Edson Alvarez on the central midfield, when he started at Ajax, it didn't go all that well, and he took him out. And after a couple of matches, he just changed the whole the whole tactics to be able to play Edson Alvarez, and then it became a whole different team, and Edson started playing well. So he does that sometimes. He takes you out just to figure out, like, okay, how am I going to fit you in this team, and how am I going to get the best out of you?
But this is different, right? Because he's not part of the squad at the moment, right?
He's just come back to Carrington, I think, in the last week or so. But particularly during that World Cup break, when they were in that mid-season training camp, which by definition it's to get fitness. Ten Hag said in the press conference he wasn't even fit enough to go to get fitness in Spain. So it is a strange situation. But in fairness, I think most people. I certainly can speak for myself. I think the rest of us guys have commended him on how he's handled that. And again, it's just another difficult situation that could have been handled badly that has actually been handled really well by Erik ten Hag. And I guess it's that level of man management that's expected at Manchester United, right? That not a lot of managers get right. And I think that's been a really strong point for him.
Yeah.
PS says, is João Felix an Erik ten Hag style player like Tadic? Any of you guys want to take that?
Like Tadic, that's hard to say though.
Or okay, take out the Tadic bit and just João Felix. Do you think that he could do well?
I think he's a very good player, still young, so he will not bring you that response. How do you say that? The matureness in what you expect of a striker and that fight. I think as a false nine, he could do very well. But still, he's young. He could work for them.
Really feeling him.
Does he play as a striker?
He's a great player in potential, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and it's a very high salary. I'm not sure if I think that amount of money is worth it for Felix.
Yeah, indeed. Because he plays as a striker, right?
Plays as a striker, can play off the left, can play as a 10. Yeah,
because he's physically not that strong for the Premier League at this moment, in my opinion. But coming from the Primera División, Spain to Premier League is also quite physical. Because in Spain it's more technical football. In England it's more physical, so it's going to be difficult. And if you compare that with the huge salary and huge transfer fee. It can be a gamble, but you never know. He's a talent. He can play ball.
Not only this, but what you said makes sense. It's a technical kind of league in Spain, and he's not even, in my opinion at least, being the top player there. He's doing well now and then. He's scoring his goals now and then, but he's not the superstar in the league. And he's there for a few years now, and he cost like 120 million or something for Atletico Madrid.
He did.
So if he is not excelling in that kind of league.
They're saying we could buy him for 70 million. They're saying we could buy him for 70 million at the end of the loan.
Yeah, but the loan is a lot,
Still a lot, yeah. It's like I think they've got it down. Yeah, they've got the loan fee down to like 9.5 million plus his wages, which they reckon are about maybe 6 or 7 million. So as a total package for a 6-month loan, it's still sort of 14, 15 million. And again, in comparison to Weghorst, I know it's apples to oranges, but you're looking at a total package, which is probably the biggest money you're going to have to pay for Weghorst is to buy him out of the agreement that he's got at Besiktas, because they've got a 10 million euro option on him. And I think that's the compensation side of things. So, KG, you're frowning.
No, I'm just wondering. It's a hard situation. I'm thinking of Felix and how you love describe Weghorst. I'm excited by this player. And it's one of those ones where we need. I remember looking at games. We've done the Europa League and we've done the match views, and you look at the bench and you're like, there's nothing else. There's nothing different to come off the bench to help us out. So I would prefer to bring in a guy that's 6-something into this team, and Antony can whip balls into, because we don't even throw balls into the net now. We don't whip balls into the box anymore because no one's tall enough to do it in this team. So I would like to see a different approach to our game.
Well, I like this, because we talked about this before, and I talked about it many times on here. It's like a puzzle. What you have within your club, what do you need within the club? And like a Felix, it isn't that necessary. And a Weghorst, that kind of player, is more necessary because you do not have it. So I'd rather see you guys being sensible with your money, spending it on areas that you really need it in, than going for another hype, for 120 million with a huge salary that still also needs to prove himself in the Premier League. You can spend that money elsewhere and on different positions. So hopefully you guys make the smart decision and not just spoil all the money on one player.
But Flex, I remember you being all fan of Ivan Toney. When is that going to happen? Or is that ever going to happen? pretty nice.
No, I've not really said that Ivan Toney won. That's
Oh, no?
Maybe that was KG. No.
I remember Juan making a comparison that you guys need a Mitrovic kind of type of player, and then you mentioned no, I'd rather have Ivan Toney. So,
did I say that I'd rather have Ivan Toney than Mitrovic?
Yeah.
Was that at the beginning of the season?
I can confirm. I've heard you. I've heard you at least before say you would like Ivan Toney.
Well, but when we spoke about that, I said, I don't know.
Early before the season started.
Before the season started.
Yeah,
if it's between Mitrovic and Ivan Toney, I would prefer Ivan Toney.
But what about the rumors on Thuram? I mean, he still has 6 months, right? I mean,
gone.
Is it finances or not good enough?
We're not in it. Basically, we can't afford to buy anyone.
I think the latest was that basically if it's a permanent deal, Manchester United can't afford it. Essentially, it's got to be only loans.
We are broke.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to. You guys lost Ronaldo's salary, right?
We did, but with the sale of the club, the Glazers, and there's a lot going on. We ain't got no money, bro. That's the only way I can say it. I can't dress it up. I can't even explain to you. That's like a whole nother show of why we ain't got money. Just know that all we can do is loan. Like that's
basically part of it as well is that we did overspend on someone like an Antony. Like we overspent by what 30 million, something like that. That's part of it too. They've gone. We could have used that in January, but we don't.
I hate that. No, I hate this new thing that we're trying to spill. I remember when it was the window was coming to a close, and we was like, we have to bring in Antony. It didn't matter, and it's like if we don't buy him, we're a disgrace. Back the manager, this, that, and the other. We haven't overspent for Antony. The manager knew what they were asking for, and he said, buy him. The manager, this is fully a Ten Hag signing. Ten Hag said,
it is, but we
did overspend because we could have. If we'd have put an offer in, say, I don't know, late June, early July, that would have been a different price because at that point, Ajax were considering. I mean, I can't speak for the Ajax fans, but I mean, they were considering their options at that point, and it was just the point of we signed him last day of the window.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
So we had to overpay.
No, but I'm saying let's be realistic now with the situation. Ajax, of all the players they let go, they did not want to sell Antony. Even Megamind was still mad when Antony left. That there was a lot of stuff that happened in that.
Yeah, he had to go on strike to do it, but it's because it was late in the window.
No, but
you got to remember, KG, you got to remember the order. We went for Timber. Centre back was a priority. That was a priority. So we went for Timber first. And then Louis van Gaal rang him and said, bro, you know you ain't going to play for me in the national team if you go there. So he went, nah, I'll stay, sign a new deal. So then exactly. But then we went for Martinez instead. And then that was like a little bit of push and pull with Arsenal. Then it was a bit like, right. So by the time we did that,
Antony was at the same time though as Martinez, I feel like too, because Antony, we did visit early-ish. Yeah, and Ajax set a price, and we went, no, okay, we'll leave it. And then it was like 2 weeks,
all of that.
Yeah, then it was like 2 weeks before the end of the window. We lost our first 2 games. We went, we're gonna get Antony, and Ajax said, okay, it's like 80 million euros, and then we went, okay, we'll pay it. And then Ajax went, actually, it's 100 million euros. We went, okay, we'll pay it. And then, then it was last day because we had to give Ajax an offer they literally couldn't refuse because they barely had any. We didn't have any time to get anyone in.
And the De Jong thing, guys, we got to remember we followed this guy for the whole thing. So as soon as that, what was we going to get De Jong for? Like 70, 80 million. As soon as that didn't happen, we went, right, here's money for Casemiro. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, we lost the games and we had to go deep into the reserve, i.e., overspend, and go and get Antony because we started so badly. And then that's when Ajax pulled our pants down.
I think you only say you overspent when it's finished and the players it hasn't worked out.
It's like Harry Maguire, right?
You can't tell me
overspend doesn't mean the players rubbish.
No, because
overspend means they wasn't planning to spend that budget.
No, but I'm saying then you talk about someone being value for money and saying, like right now, everyone's talking about Martinez. I remember when Martinez was first coming in, no one was happy about the price. They gave us two. We had to go back to them twice with 2 different proposals because they didn't want to sell him to us. Now we're saying that we didn't spend enough for him. So until
overspent doesn't mean that the players exactly our budget, our pot was.
I'm talking from a financial, but I'm talking just in the sense of when people talk about overspending, there's this part of it when it's literally down to was it value for money? Did we get our money's worth from this signing?
From them players.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes I'm saying because Antony is at the beginning of it's too early. right now. You right now look like you lot haven't spent money wisely. You could almost say the same for Sancho, but then some other players, you'll say that Casemiro, for instance, people are like, oh, spending that much money on a plus 30-year-old, what's the point? Now they're saying, wow, great money well spent.
Yeah, it all depends how the player does in that first 6 months.
By the way, we wanted some Maguire news, and we have got an actual reputable outlet now saying Samuel Luckhurst has just reported that Harry Maguire expects to stay at Manchester United beyond the January transfer window amid links to Aston Villa. So that
He's
whole
the
thing
Lisandro Magayan of United.
the verge, being on the verge of leaving, Samuel Luckhurst says no, he expects Harry Maguire to stay.
Bad news for you guys.
So great note to end the show on.
Not really bad news, mate. Eric Ten Hag don't play him, so it's fine. It's not bad news.
Question for you guys, as the last question from my side. We talked a lot about Ten Hag, and we went on the show a lot prior to the season, and now you saw it in action. I saw a stat in the media that he has in his first 25 matches, he has 72 win percentage. Compared to other managers like Klopp, Arteta, and Guardiola, who all had around 50, 52, 56. Only Tuchel, I believe, 68. How do you guys experience Ten Hag up until now? Because last time I came on, I needed to rally the troops, That was after the 4-0 defeat against Brentford. Remember? Those two bad first matches?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then everybody was like, Ten Hag's a shit manager and stuff. How are you guys feeling now, after... What's all been going on?
We speak about all of these signings. I think the best way to put it, we speak about all of these people we signed in the summer. The single best signing was Eric Ten Hag, above anyone else. And the fact that he understands not just how to get the best out of players, but he truly understands the ethos of the club and what is the true makeup of a Manchester United player. Those quotes that were coming out yesterday where he said, it's about personality. It's about a player that can handle the weight of the shirt. I went back and I looked at Sir Alex Ferguson's sides and I looked at these players, these leaders in the team, Keane in midfield, Scholes, Giggs, etc. The strikers, he listed off a load of strikers and said, when I was recruiting, it was about personalities. You need personality to thrive at United. And I think not only... Flex and KG can say in just a second, but not only have I been so impressed with what he's been able to do, I've been so impressed with how he's been able to handle just the sheer amount of doubters that have been out there. The way that he was treated, I think, by the media in the first few weeks and even today, people still don't believe today. Like, they won't give him credit. I don't get it. Like KG said, there was one, I can't remember who it was, might have been Simon Jordan was saying his suit's too big for him, or his English isn't very good, or he's this and he's that. The makeup of the man that we lost 4-0. The next day, he said to his players, you didn't run enough yesterday. We're going to make up the distance that you didn't run. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing it with you. He's in his mid-50s, and it was the hottest day of the year. And
he did it?
All these sports science, of course he did. Of course he did.
Do you think he completed it? Do you think he completed the 13K?
I tell you what, if a player finished behind him, they've got a lot of trouble because he was saying Eric Ten Hag in his 50s.
What player was with him?
Huh?
What player do you think couldn't keep up, might finish behind Ten Hag?
You lot all know the player. You're just setting us up, bro. You know who it is. You know who we're all thinking.
Yeah, KG, just quickly.
I think he's an incredible manager. Again, before we started the season, I didn't think we'll be even finishing in the top 4. I didn't put us in the top 4. I didn't want to put that pressure on him. Now I'm talking about. Hey, that's funny.
That's really funny.
You got a roach, because
Honestly.
But yeah. Sorry, that was funny. Yeah. But carry on. Be serious.
That's throwing me out. I'm easily distracted. It says it on all my score reports.
Sorry, go on.
No, incredible. Again, I'm talking about a title charge. I'm just saying being involved in a title race. Not saying we're going to win the title, just saying we're involved in it. Again, this is what he's done. He's built up the standards, and it's almost even down to I'm doing it in my personal life. I'm like, bro, good ain't good enough, When you know that feeling, when you get comfortable because you've done something, it's like, nah, I'd never get comfortable. So now I'm even trying to take in some of those ethos, into how I look at things.
He's been calling me doing the same thing. Good ain't
good
enough.
I'm like, good ain't good enough. Let's get to work.
It's all right. Go out for a walk. Good ain't good enough. I'd rather not. So.
Did you do the walk, by the way?
No, yeah, it's been raining, mate. So
he did it. Yeah. He went straight to the rain. Yeah, to finish off, because we are over, but listen, for such a great show and we don't get to speak to you guys that often, it's wicked, man. I just echo what all the guys said, that he's just been a breath of fresh air, and you know the way that some of the things he's had to deal with in such a short space of time. You know, that Ronaldo one is, you know, from minute one when me and KG walked in on tour and saw how he spoke about Ronaldo situation, he remained consistent all the way through.
He's a cheat.
Yeah, and we saw things on tour where he just, you know, the discipline was just a different level. We could smell the discipline in the Australian air. Like, I swear to you, this was just different.
We said it, yeah.
It was crazy. And then how he, you know, even down to Marcus Rashford the other day. I don't know if you guys saw that he didn't start him against Wolves because he was late to a team meeting.
Yeah.
You know, Marcus Rashford, as you guys probably know right now, is our best player. He is in the form of his life, pretty much.
Yeah.
And going to Wolves away is always a tricky game for us. He went, don't care. You're on the bench, mate. You're on the bench. Don't get me wrong. He couldn't wait to bring him on because we needed him. And he came on and scored. But the principle remains the same. And he's shown that it doesn't matter whether you're Ronaldo, who's a GOAT of the game. It doesn't matter whether you're Rashford, who is, you know, boy wonder, you know, can't do any wrong. You know, he's Mr. Right. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a young kid in Garnacho.
Even Martinez, when he went, he's celebrating. He went, but he's got to know that the games begin on December 27th. He's got to be back.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't care if you won the World Cup. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. And the way he's starting to speak, the way he speaks in the media as well, in his press conferences, he's becoming more comfortable with it. Obviously, at the beginning, little bit of a language barrier, plus like his expression of how he is as well, versus the team's not where he wants it to be. But now he's just becoming more confident. He does these things on Amazon Prime in this country where they get to kind of interview the manager kind of side by side on the pitch straight after the game, and it can kind of open up a little bit. And it's just great to see him. He talks with like Gary Neville or whether it's Patrice Evra or whatever, and you just see him coming into his own. Is the
it's
only
like
way
after we beat Liverpool, and he was interviewed by the side of the pitch, wasn't it? And one of the first things he said, "How do you think about that performance?" He went, "We play fucking good football." Sorry about it. He went, "Oh,
yeah." Like we apologize for the slightly fruitful language. He's basically beginning to just not give a shit and just really stamp his authority on this team. I'm just going to read out all these super chats before we sign off, because there's quite a lot. Sandip says, I will hold up the shirt and tag you all on Insta. Wow, there's a real Boy Kev shirt coming through, you know. Crazy. MJ says, we all like him, but Ten Hag has been rash with his money. Wow, okay. Troy Superstar says, Weghorst, I read that one already. D-Train, member for 3 months of the UV Members Club, says, morning from Australia, everyone. For the Ajax boys, how good are Sparta Rotterdam going? And is there anyone there United could look at? Just really quickly answer that one. Anyone?
It's a lower tier. It's a lower tier team in the Dutch Eredivisie.
Is there anyone we can get from them? They're saying.
I don't think so.
Okay. You already got the best player, Malacia, from them. So nothing else.
You could have gotten Gakpo, but you didn't. That was one of the key signings.
Okay. Yeah. No Jumper says KG with his zooming in is so annoying. Stop doing it, KG. It's so annoying. Stop zooming in. James won it. Thank you for the contribution. Josh Waring says, that is a fair point, Ajax. However, we can only loan, and Felix covers for multiple of positions, and we have a ton of games in 2023. You're so childish. Just because.
Yeah, no one's gonna tell me not to do side. Of course, I'm gonna do it again. Who do you think you are, bro?
That's probably why they did it, though. I'm
gonna again. No, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. Crackhead.
Don't. There's no need to call. Don't.
I'm gonna do what I want. I don't know who that person typing all of his little dead computer. I don't even know what he's using, bruv. Just log off, bruv. Do that, fam. Sorry.
Do it again.
But thanks for the contribution. Always, it's really.
Oh yeah, thank you for the contribution, T.
Sandeep says, we might sign in Buemo and KG will still be excited. Sandeep also says, we love our baldy. And All Elite says, KG. All Elite says he dropped Maguire, got CR7 out of the club, turned Dallo into a worldie, brought Gilberto Carlos back, got Rashi smiling again, and got Leacher in my life. Wow, when you list it like that.
Love story.
Yeah. And Ali Khan says Sancho regrets his move. Someone very close told me. Okay, so close shorts there. Guys, what a show. That is what it is every time we link up, man. Like I said, you guys are always family here on United View. You're always welcome here. And yeah, thank you so much for the insight that you guys are giving us, and thank you very much for the players and manager, because our lives have changed. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
we gotta go back for the chairs though, because the chairs are comfy, bro. You know that.
Yeah, they was.
It's a row reverse, guys. It's a row reverse. We're in the mud at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah, you guys know where to find the guys at WeTalkAjax. You know what their socials. They'll be in the video description below as well. And if you haven't subscribed to WeTalkAjax, make sure you guys head over to there and do that. These guys got content day in, day out, just like we do here in United View, covering every single game of Ajax. And if you're interested in the story of what Ten Hag left behind and how they're doing and the pain they may be feeling as well, make sure you guys check it out. Yeah. Exactly. But listen, Papimento, Sabi, and Ajax, thank you guys for coming on. And you know we're not going to leave it too long. We probably left it too long, actually. We should do this, more often,
yes,
and have regular check-ins.
Always a blast talking with you guys. Thanks for having us on, and I'm cheering for you guys to end up really high in the league next season. So love to you all.
100%. Thanks so much, guys. Remember to smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It's not match day tomorrow, no. So we've got build up to the match day. There isn't a press conference because it's Carabao Cup. So usually Eric Ten Hag does some stuff where you'll hear it from in-house. So we'll see what he has to say. We'll see what the players have to say as well. Yeah, exactly. We'll see some of the quotes that come out. So smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We will see you again soon. Peace.